What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So, I did a poll on Instagram and I did one that said, what should my next video be about? Should it be about the time my parents found out I lost my virginity or the time I got played? And so majority people voted for the time I got played. So today is going to be a story time about the time I got played. And without further ado, I'm about to get started. Okay, so at the time, I was dating this guy. I'm not gonna say his name. He was a little bit older than me. I think I was 16. Yeah, definitely was 16, turned 17, whatever. And so, one day he texted me and he was like, hey, what's up, blah, 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 blah. I'm going on a vacation and I'm finna go to the, what is it called? I think he said he was going to the Bahamas and he was gonna go stay at his dad's house. Anyways, so he reached to the Bahamas. It was nighttime. So, okay, let's back up real quick. He texted me earlier during the day and we got into an argument. I was like, when you go on this trip, like, you better make sure and make it known, like, that, like, you're in a relationship. And no girl should even have to tell a guy that, like, you should know and be able to go out somewhere and not do something stupid. But just in case, I was like, make sure when you go out there, you have fun. I'm not saying you can't have fun, but make sure you remember you're in a relationship at the same time. You feel me? So, we had an argument because he felt some type of way or whatever, blah, 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 blah. All right, so fast forward back to, he was at the dad's house. It was nighttime. So I was texting him and I'm like, where you at? What you doing? And he was like, oh, well, I'm in the bed sleeping. I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. And this was after I called him like 3 times. I texted him repeatedly and there was no answer. And so I got a text message from somebody and it said, who are you? To the guy I was dating at the time. Like I said, I'm not gonna say his name. And I was like, first of all, like, who are you? Like, you're texting me, who are you? And it was a girl. And so she texted me back and she was like, well, my name is blah, 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 blah. And I know your boyfriend because blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, so who are you? Because I know, I known him for quite some time now. And I know like all his relatives and I know how much brothers he have and blah, blah, blah. She basically know how many family members he have, whatever. And so I texted her just to see like what the fuck was going on. I was like, I'm his sister. And then she texted me back and the girl was like, no, you're not. And I said to her, like, how would you know? Like, who the hell are you? And whatever. She was like, well, the reason at the time I didn't know that, she knew all his family members or whatever. So, yeah. She said, well, I know you're not his sister for a fact because I know all his family members and I know he does not have any sisters. So, you're lying. Who are you? So, I told her, okay, well, I'm his girlfriend and what's the problem? Who are you? Like, why are you texting me? And she was like, well, what she said? She was like, oh, well, how could you be his girlfriend when I was the one who was dating him? I was like, what? I'm telling this girl, like, bitch, you crazy, like, you're not his girlfriend, like, who the fuck are you, like, how did you even get my number, like? And so I was like, he told me he was at his dad's house and he was sleeping in a separate bed. He had an extra bed or whatever. And she texted me back and she was like, oh well, he's lying to you. He's not at his dad's house, and I know for a fact that he's not sleeping in a separate room right now because he's in the same room, in the same bed with me. And I was like, bitch, you lying. Like, why should I believe you? Like, first of all, I don't even know her. She randomly texted my phone, somehow got my number. So I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't believe a word she was saying. I was in denial. I'm not gonna lie. And so when he finally answered the text message and then he finally called me back, he was like, oh, well, I asked him, I said, first of all, I was like, who is this girl? Like, do you know her? Why is she saying that you in her bed with her right now, and you told me you were supposed to be at your dad's house and you were supposed to be in a separate room, so where the fuck are you? What are you doing? And he goes, this nigga was like, oh well, I don't know why you believe in her. I don't even know who the hell she is. I don't know how she got your number. And I am at my dad's house and I am in a separate room and blah blah this and blah blah that. And so I was like, so if you in your dad's house and you in this separate room, then prove it to me. I want to see, like, show me, because somebody gotta be lying. And so he was like, oh, well, I'm tired, I'll talk to you in the morning or whatever. So I was like, all right. I played it off. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna believe this girl. I don't know her. She could be lying, like, because sometimes in relationships, people try to ruin what you have and they could lie. And so yeah, I didn't believe her for nothing. And so fast forward, this is like a couple months later, I had blocked this girl's number, mind you that. And somehow a couple months later, she texted me back from a different number, but I didn't know it was her at the time. And so she was like, oh, the guy you dating right now, he's no good for you, he's a liar, he's a cheater, She was like, oh, he was dating you while he was dating me, or whatever. She was like, oh, he cheated on me with you, and that's and then I'm confused as fuck. Cause the way she's talking, it's like she's talking in third person. So I'm thinking like there's another girl talking about a different girl. So I was confused at first. And I texted back and I was like, this girl I texted, I was like, don't listen to that white girl, whatever she's saying is not true, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, the girl ended up telling me who she was, right? And then she sent me pictures, and we started talking from there, and she started telling me about herself and blah, 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 whatever. All right, so now back to this guy, right? When I confronted him, I was like, I thought you told me you didn't know this girl. Like, I thought you said, like, you didn't know who she was. She was lying. Don't listen to her. And then now, all of a sudden, this nigga changed up his words or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, I know her, but she's a liar. Don't listen to her. I didn't do anything, She just wants to break us apart. She's crazy. She's mental. So I'm like, okay. At this point, my dumb ass believing every word he's saying, because I thought I was in love or whatever. So a couple weeks later, I added 2 and 2 together. I was like, first you told me you didn't know the girl and she was lying, and then somehow you know her, but she's lying still, feel me? So that makes no sense to me. I'm like, how you tell me you don't know somebody, but then a couple weeks later you know them? So what the fuck is going on? Like, that's mad fishy. That's sus right there. So I ended up going to him and I was like, listen, you're gonna tell me the truth. You're gonna tell me what happened. And I was like, if you don't tell me what happened, then you losing me. Like, that's it. We're done. Don't talk to me. Don't text me. I was like, I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do. He was about to get beat the fuck up. Because you're not finna sit up here and lie to me and play me and expect to get away with it. Like, why can't you just tell me the truth? Like, it's either you trust me enough to either forgive you and try and give you another chance, or you keep lying and I'm gonna just leave you anyway. Like, so yeah, I confronted him and he denied everything. He was like, oh, you know, like what I just told y'all earlier. He was like, oh, you know, she crazy, don't believe her, you know, block her number. I don't know her, I don't know what she's talking about. And then, yeah, I stopped messing with him. I stopped texting him. I blocked him because it was obvious you was lying. Like, my guy, what do you gotta lie for? Like, just tell me the freaking truth. Like, if you knew her first and you wanted to, like, see other people, why didn't you just tell her, you know, I'm not interested? Nigga thought he was slick. He wanted to have two people at once. Like, well, why didn't you tell me, like, you feel me? Like, why didn't he be like, oh, you know, here's the situation, you know, I'm kind of still in a relationship, but not really. And you see, so you feel me? I wouldn't go into something blinded, you know, like, at least I would know and I could make a decision, like, whether I would want to still continue or just be like, nah, that ain't for me. But yeah, I felt stupid. I felt dumb. I was crying over that nigga because that wasn't like the only thing he was doing. Like, during our relationship, like, there was like mad times where there was things that went down, but I didn't really see it for myself, if that makes sense, because like I was so in love, or so I thought I was. So, you know, I guess I didn't want to see what was right in front of me. There was a bunch of times I would call him, he wouldn't answer. I would text him, he wouldn't answer. He always mostly forgot our anniversary. And anytime I would always ask him something, it would always be an excuse. After we broke up, he somehow got my number. Anyways, he was like, you know, the reason I forgot things was because he said something he had going on, some type of problem, whatever. My thing was, why didn't you just tell me? Like, you feel me? Why sit there and lie and then make excuses and call the girl crazy? Like, I'm pretty sure she wasn't crazy, you know. So yeah, that's the time I got played because my dumb ass thought I was in love. And yeah, I mean, I was young, I learned, so yeah. I really want to do the other video, so I think I might drop that video today too. Let's see. So that's it for now. Stay tuned because I'm gonna be dropping videos. And I hope you guys liked this story time. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, you know. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Or add me on my Instagram at PrettyGirlAshley. And you guys can join in on the poll or DM me and let me know what type of stories you want to see, or if you want pranks or whatever, just let me know. So yeah, that's all.